All right, welcome to FCC Youth Sunday School. This week I am with Zoe, Matthias, and Nick, and we are going to be talking about the fruits of the Spirit. Last week we talked about love, and this week we're going to be talking about joy. And I don't know what brings y'all joy,
Matthias,
but chocolate chip cookies bring me joy. And so that's what we're going to make today. They're going to help me out, and we're going to get started. Here we go. First things first. I will read the ingredients to y'all, and I need y'all to make sure that we have the right ingredients. So when I read them, take them out, okay?
You have to call this the golden standard.
Okay, I will. First, we need 2 cups of white sugar. So white sugar, Nick, if you go back in the pantry back there, there'll be a big bag of white sugar.
is this the sugar you are looking for?
That's the sugar I'm looking for.
That's a lot of sugar.
Next, brown sugar, which we have here. We need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So we have the baking soda. Baking soda, great. Salt. Do we have salt? Matthias, will you grab the salt back there? Thank you. We've got the milk chocolate chips that have been tested by Pastor Justin. Apparently they're fine. Not poisonous. We need the butter flavored Crisco, which we have right here, and vanilla. Matthias, will you look for the vanilla? You got it. Boom. Didn't even have to look for it. Easy.
I thought it would be in the fridge.
Vanilla. We need 4 eggs, which will be in the fridge, Zoe.
I'll get it.
All right, and then we're gonna need. You know what we're gonna need last, Matthias? We're gonna need the gold medal standard.
Golden standard. It's beautiful.
All right. Those are our ingredients for today, so let's get started. First step. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We need to combine the white sugar, the brown sugar, the baking soda, and the salt.
I'll do the brown
So
sugar.
first, we need 2 cups of white sugar. Nick, you're on white sugar duty.
Can you trust me with
I
that?
can trust you with that. We
I
need
got
2
the
I
cups.
can't even trust
So
myself.
that's a half cup.
Give us 4 of these.
4 of those.
I'll do the brown.
Hey, bro, can you help me with this?
Hey, Matthias, will you do some cool dancing in the background?
Oh, I can't dance. Sorry.
You need to put a Fortnite default dance.
Yeah, I was going to say, just do some cool
I played-
Fortnite
I played
dances.
Fortnite for the first time in a long time, and I played with my 12-year-old nephew, and he killed me. It was so good.
I've only played like 3 times,
That's
and when I was with my cousin, she's like
Yes,
8.
more. That's a lot of shit. That's fine.
We won 5 times in a row.
Oh, dang.
Dude,
Perfect.
I've done.
2 more of those.
And assaulted.
Now you're so sweet.
It was fun, but I can't really
One more of those.
use my like stuff to talk to people.
Wow. Yeah, that is like
And a lot of people
mountains
play
of
on
sugar.
PC.
There we go.
4.
What is- how much
I
is
And we need 2 cups of brown sugar, so same
I got
kind of
it.
scenario.
Hey, I've been a sugar instead of assaulted.
it.
Oh. Alright, well,
That was a stretch.
guess what? I'm not giving you this because I
What
know
does
it's
that
fine.
mean?
No, let me see it.
I like the attempt. It was
Yeah,
good.
He took my
Yes, I do.
We need the cup. We don't need the flour yet.
Not yet?
Okay.
Oh,
Not
we're
yet.
supposed to mix it.
No.
Oh, that's the salt.
Sugar, brown sugar, baking soda, and salt.
Salt. Sorry, I thought I remembered.
How about you open up that baking soda for us?
You open it up right there.
We're gonna need.
It as a baking soda thing you open.
Are you sure this is a half cup? It looks like a cup.
That is half cup.
Because if that were a cup, I'd just put 4 cups of sugar in there.
Alright, so we're gonna need.
Double batch. Let's go.
I'm eating so much sugar all over me.
Okay.
2 teaspoons of baking soda. So 4 of those.
Oh, is there not a 1 teaspoon there?
No,
There isn't. That's dumb.
I know. We're missing a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna run my mom's baking stuff. She has
I brought my electric mixer this time. The last time we tried to mix things and it was tough.
I need to bring something.
What happened
So,
last?
easy way to do this. I'm gonna show you first.
What happened
Please.
last time?
Yeah, just rip it open.
Usually,
Oh, you
can
can
go in
push it in.
And then you use it, and then you use the top part,
You go like this.
and then you use the top part to.
Hey,
Yeah,
editor.
You go like that, like that.
Yeah.
Hey, editor.
I forgot about that.
The like an airborne nomination right here.
It It's hard because it's not like a big enough. But that's kind of how you do it. Yes. And then you even it out on the top. There you go. All right, so 4 of those.
Oh, that's hot.
And then we're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So we're gonna do.
Giant clump of that. Okay, there's 2.
Teacher, she's hitting me.
Hey, she started it. She started
No.
it. Yeah, she got the water heat.
No.
What? Oh,
These 2.
like get a load of this
Hit
guy.
each other.
You're going Seinfeld on him. Get a load of this guy.
Is that 4? All right, so now we're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So let's use that half teaspoon again. Salt. So 2 of those. No, 3 of those.
I need to grab my hand.
Woo! All
Well,
right.
at least you won't go on the circular motion.
While she is mixing all that up, I need Matthias you to open 2 of those packages. We're gonna put 2 packages in.
I need a knife.
And
So we need 2 cups of butter.
2 cups. Yeah.
Of butter.
And then we're gonna need 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Wow.
4 eggs.
4 eggs.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's
No,
wait
I
till we get the eggs in there, because it'll make it easier to mix it all up.
Go for it. How many eggs? 4? Got it.
There's
Wow.
1.
This is very frustrating. Everybody's watching.
Don't eggshells. Don't get an eggshell in there.
I mean, if she does, it's just extra
I
calcium.
want
Bone density helper.
I want to show you.
Yeah.
I know.
Let me add more front.
There you go. And a 4.
Oh, that was a
What the
scary.
heck?
Oh man.
That's
Oh, no.
that's the thing that like holds the thing.
She did it. She did it.
Hey.
Yes.
It's all part of my plan.
Get it all mixed up in the sugar.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Don't get your fingers in here.
I'm not going to.
Ah.
All right. So we need 4.5 cups flour. Let's start with.
You sure you want to run the low speed?
You can turn it up a little bit. There you go.
It's not too hot because you don't want flour to fly.
Yeah.
I don't. You're right.
All right. So this week we have to set the oven to 350 degrees, and once we're done balling these up and making little cookies on a cookie sheet, we're gonna put them in the oven for 8 minutes.
Oh well, then what I did is too much.
Yeah.
How's that?
No, that's just like
That's
I
too
go
much.
for about that.
A little less than.
They don't all have to be perfect, but it's.
Yeah, close enough.
I think that's good.
But if it spreads in the corner, man.
Holy cow, dude.
Who can go?
Okay,
Let's
we need
go.
More. More.
Wow!
More. No, Zoe, not hands.
I don't know how. Should I ball it up more?
Which one is hot and which one is cold? That's cold. Okay. See.
Let's make a hero.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, let's get another ear. Or is it just gonna be like some sort of weird sound?
Oh, we should make a
Okay, we need
snowman.
another ear. Is that gonna be enough?
Yeah.
Or should we take some from
We're
the?
gonna have to take a picture of this.
Take some.
But no, it's gonna have a crate in it.
It's okay.
We're gonna have to. Oh, whoa.
We'll add some more there.
Yeah,
we
we're
need
gonna
to take a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Now the ear's too
Let's
big.
take a picture of all of these.
The ear's too big now.
Soon we'll be a little lopsided. Don't hate on this Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
All right. So our first round of cookies is going in the oven for 8 minutes.
8 minutes?
Oh, that's
That's
so
it?
warm.
Hey everyone, we are getting started. We're going to do a little bit of Bible study now. Our cookies are done. Zoe's here eating her cookie. It's already half gone. What is that, number 10 or 11?
40.
It's number
11.
5.
No, the cookies are delicious, and we wish we could share them with you. But all right, so let's jump in really quick. Today we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit, and we went over love last week. That's the first one. The second fruit of the Spirit is, you remember?
Fruit of the Spirit, I love joy, peace.
Oh!
Peace.
What comes after joy? Or dang it, what comes after love?
Joy.
Joy. So we're going to talk about joy today. So we're going to talk about joy today. What?
I don't know those.
You can talk.
I don't know the fruits of the Spirit.
That's fine. That's why we're talking about them. So I asked Zoe to read our first scripture for us, and it will be Psalm 126, verses 3 through 6. And so these verses, I have a few. They're going to help us think about what joy is in the Bible. And so when we make a recipe for cookies, we have a bunch of ingredients, right? We put them all together, and the end result is something delicious. We're going to try to do the same thing and figure out how we can be joyful by following recipes for joy in the Bible, while Nick figures his life out on a beanbag chair.
Yeah. They're making so much noise.
So much. All right, Psalm 126 through 6. Zoe, will you read that for us?
Of course. The Lord did indeed accomplish great things for us. We were happy. O Lord, restore our well-being, just as the streams in the arid south are replenished. Those who shed tears as they plant will shout for joy when they reap the harvest. The one who weeps as he walks along, carrying his bag of seed, will certainly come in a shout of joy, carrying his sheaves of grain.
Okay, so there's the last two verses of that I want us to think about. What did you hear in that made you think, okay, that's what joy is?
Enjoying, like, being happy for the stuff that God gave us, looking at the world around us and appreciating it, saying, thank you, God, I guess.
So, like, joy comes from being appreciative, for sure. Absolutely.
Definitely. I thought the same thing, is that joy just comes from the appreciation of things and not taking anything for granted.
Yeah.
If you take something for granted, how can you be joyful about it?
For sure.
Thank you.
So I think this verse is super interesting. It says, those who shed tears as they plant will shout for joy when they reap the harvest.
So, like, hard work pays off because you get a great reward.
Right.
So, like,
That's
making
what I thought
cookies.
from that, yeah.
So
We didn't cry.
does joy mean that you're always super happy, go lucky, and that you're never going to have a hard moment in your life?
No.
No, that's not real life. That's a fake story, because we all go through struggles. We all go through stuff that sucks.
And if you don't, you will.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the recipe for joy that we find in the Bible isn't this, everything's going to be okay. It's, hey, you're going to go through some stuff,
You're gonna die.
and on the other side of that, you're going to be able to find joy if you look for the right things and if you handle things the right way,
I'm just being myself. I'm sorry.
right? No, you're good. So I think that's the first ingredient in joy, right? So we said being attentive, paying attention to the world around you, and also making sure that the things that you're going through, that you're learning from those things and that you're able to find joy on the other side of it, right?
Learn-
Burning myself on a cookie pan would not be joyful. I didn't
No.
today. I have before.
But be happy that you didn't.
I am happy that I did.
Well, when you took Yuckum out of the
True.
out of the
It was
tub,
close.
that
It was
You
close.
were
Yucca was
cursed.
getting really hot. The second verse that I have today comes from Proverbs 21:15. Doing justice brings joy to the righteous and terror to those who do evil. So doing justice brings joy to the righteous and terror to those who do evil. How could justice ever bring terror?
Well, I mean, for those who don't want it,
If someone tells
like
a
if you have a
lie,
dictator, such as, and I know this is an extreme example, Joseph Stalin,
Mhm.
who killed people who didn't believe what he did, just because they had an ugly look on their face. He hated it when the USSR was disbanded.
Yeah.
Super angry about it.
Yeah.
But the entirety of Russia was really happy.
Right. So for the people that are benefiting from the injustice, they're going to be pretty mad that justice is coming, right?
Yep.
But those who seek justice and who see justice being fulfilled, they'll be joyful. Justice brings joy. So let's be people of justice. So that's another ingredient in the Bible that we have for joy, is to be just and to seek justice, right? All right. The next verse that I have is John 15:9-11. Just as the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Remain in my love. This is Jesus talking. If you obey my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commandments and remain in his love.
Ooh.
I have told you these things so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete.
Why is that so funny to you?
Why is it funny?
I feel like you said, ooh.
You just had to lose it.
So what's the recipe for joy in this verse?
Giving,
What do you hear?
letting
Butter.
Jesus have joy in you.
Okay, yeah,
Because that's what the Bible said.
for sure. So in this verse, Jesus is talking about how he is in God, how the relationship between Jesus and God, Jesus is in God, God is in Jesus, and if we are also in Jesus, we are experiencing that relationship. And so he's saying the same can be said for joy, that Jesus is praying that the joy that he finds in God, the joy that Jesus brings into the world, we can also find when we are in Jesus, right? And so another part of the recipe for joy is finding Jesus and finding the points in your life where Jesus can teach you how to be joyful, right?
And also lots of butter.
And also lots of Crisco.
Lots of Crisco.
Crisco butter.
Crisco, this comes from James chapter 1, verse 2. You ready? You listening? My brothers and sisters, consider it nothing but joy when you fall into all sorts of trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. What do you think about that?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Brothers and sisters, consider it nothing but joy. So consider it all joy when you fall into all sorts of trials.
Oh, that from the trials you'll learn a lesson that will bring you joy.
There you go.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
This idea that we're learning from our trials. We're learning from this life that we live, right? Joy doesn't come from nothing.
Mhm.
We have to work at it, right? Sometimes we get those moments in our life where joy comes just randomly, and those are awesome moments.
yeah.
But other times we kind of have to work at it. And when we're going through rough stuff, that means that we're going to have to work harder to find joy.
It's
Yeah,
like
Nick.
also kind of, sorry, go ahead.
The verse, I thought it was saying like, brothers and sisters, they find joy when you're in trials. And for some reason in my brain, I thought it was like, hey, people, they like it when you're in trouble.
No, not saying that. Yeah, just talking about the individual.
And what my thought was is that it's kind of like having a friendship. You don't just be friends from nothing unless you have like a God-destined friendship that you're gonna be with them for the rest of your life or
Well, I
something.
mean,
Right.
like my friendship with Vaughn's, the only reason that I'm friends with him is because my mom met Audrey, and because of that, because they became friends and spent time with each other, we were kind of, in a way, in the beginning, forced to spend time with each other, and after that, it became voluntary, and we just really like each other.
Yeah, so like with
Yeah.
joy, it's the same thing. Sometimes we fall into it and it's real easy, and sometimes we have to work at it. And so that's part of the recipe. This is we have the ingredients, and now we're getting to the, well, you really got to work at it part. You got to put it all together. You got to do the mixing. You got to make the little balls of dough to make the cookies look nice, and then you have to make a giant cookie that hopefully will turn out good.
Named
we'll see.
Yechem.
Named Yucca. All right.
Specifically has to be named Yeko.
So I have one more question for y'all. I want to go around, and I want to talk about what brings you joy.
Oh, I got so many answers.
All right.
We're about to get them now.
All right, let's hear it. What
Go
brings
ahead.
you joy, Nick?
Christopher Robin, my amazing dog.
All right.
Daisy, my other amazing dog. My parents, my family, my friends, including you.
Oh, thanks.
My desires, video games, reading books, drawing. Yes.
Dolly.
I haven't done that for Dolly.
We all do, dude.
Baking cookies because that was fun.
Yes.
There's a lot of things. Just my mind isn't that strong.
That's a lot of things.
I understand.
That was good.
Letter.
What about for you, Zoe? What brings you joy?
My dogs, my friends, going to school. I know that sounds weird, but I like going to school
You're weird.
because that's a place where I can be social and connect with other people.
Yeah,
Never mind,
for sure.
You're not weird.
And I love reading. Reading is fun. I love reviewing over books because it makes me think.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Baking definitely makes me happy. And overall, just being around other people.
Aha.
For sure.
So,
I like it. Matthias, what brings you joy?
That's. Oh, okay. Well, of course, family and friends, but also just being alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think just being alive is honestly pretty great because the chance of you specifically being alive right now are not very high.
But out of all the people who could be sent down here, you're chosen.
I mean,
And that's good to
Yeah.
think about. It makes
There
you
you
feel
go.
special because you are special.
True.
Oh man.
What about music?
Yes, yeah, that's a big one.
That
for
seems
me.
like a big
I
one.
wish
in
I
your
could have
life,
said that
right?
actually, but there are only a few specific artists, at least when it comes to most music that I listen to that I've heard, they can actually invoke that sort of feeling. It's very rare that you'll find an artist that can do that. But there's only one that I found that can consistently do that, and that's Jacob Collier. I mean, his music is on a next level.
All right, cool.
So Jacob Collier makes you happy?
His music does. It's crazy.
Good. Do you get joy from making music? Do you get as much joy from making music as you do from listening to other people's music? Yeah.
He'll call me into his room sometimes for me to listen.
That's how you know that it's joyful, right? You want to share it with people.
It's fun.
Like, that's a huge part of joy, is that you can't keep it to yourself. Like, we're sharing all these cookies because they're so good. We have to share joy, right? That's part of this message too. Like, you don't just stop when you're done with the cookies. You don't say, all right, we're all done. Now let's leave these out forever and let them get hard and stale.
And moldy.
No, you go give them to people because it's going to make other people joyful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what being a Christian is about. Like, spreading this love, spreading this joy. The fruits of the Spirit are about finding these things in your life and being able to move into the next phase of things, right? And share with other people. That's what we've got.
Do you want mustard?
All right. Insert transition later when I edit the video.
oh, sick edits, bro.
Oh, sweet edits.
Oh my gosh,
I just stared at the camera the entire time. That was
It was awesome. I love it.
edits.
I believe it's on the second or third channel.
It even says it's the gold medal standard, so we gotta call it the golden standard.
Other fridge.
Aha!
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, those are expired. Other fridge.
Ew! That's disgusting. Okay.
I'll go ahead and edit that out. It might end up here. Let's see. Fine, I just want those.
I don't know.
Oh, there's no thing on there.
I'll pour a little more of this in, and then I like this one too.
Let's here. Put it in your hand or something first. Or pour it
That's 1 teaspoon. We'll count that because a lot came out.
Yeah.
You're not
How much?
engaged.
One of y'all?
I'll do it.
I can do it. Zoe, I don't trust you with things.
Someone teach
Especially
me.
if you're wrong.
No,
With your hand.
I trust it.
I've been
Mike.
baking since I was a small child.
Okay.
I think it's
Everyone's beautiful.
what should we name it?
I don't know, but that thing's gonna
Not
bake
Mickey.
and it's gonna get like 10 times bigger.
Anti-Mickey.
Yeah, we get it.
Name it. No, wait. What's Mickey backwards?
Kiam?
Yeah.
That's his name.
I was close. I said
You're
Kiam.
gonna give him a nose?
Yeah, give him a nose. Yeah, give him
Yeah.
a nose.
We put marshmallows.
Yeah, they explode. Explode in the microwave.
Oh.
I learned that the hard way.
Oh no. That'd be Mickey.
Oh
Brother, didn't we explode keys in the microwave one time?
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
But that was a pea. I know
And
it's
marshmallows are made
Yes,
of
I
keys.
know.
I mean, keys are made of marshmallows.
no! Marshmallows are being.
No, yes, I know that. I know this. But like I'm
All right.
I watched
And
kindness, goodness, gratefulness, gentleness, and self-control.
love,
You go to a
peace,
Christian
patience,
school.
kindness,
Yeah,
goodness,
I
faithfulness,
did.
gentleness, and self-control. All right.
I know it's learning Christian.
I do.
I go to a public high school.
I know.
All right.
Remember when we went to the other church and like we went to the kitchen where the garden stuff?
Oh yeah. Originally.
We went to the kitchen and remember where
It was
like
so much fun.
there was a thing where I saw it was don't touch. This is extremely hot. I touched.